Ace-10 could kind of go either way. Betting, checking, betting, various sizings, but the big picture thing you need to have in your head is how much money is my hand worth in these positions. Hey everyone, what's up? This is Uri with part 2 of my NL200 live play. Basically, edit it, cut it in half, we're just jumping in right where we left off. If you haven't checked out the last part, you should probably do that before watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. This gets too long, maybe we divide it into 2 parts. I don't know if you guys prefer like a really long one or multiple short ones. Oh, Jack 9, I guess Jack 9 should open, cut off. Okay, we got another recreational guy, again donk betting. We have complete trash, but you know, the min donk bet is, how do you say, not a sign of strength usually. So it's gonna do this. 7s here, this is an okay board to just check raise with a hand like 7s. Going kind of small. The idea with this check raise is that villain has a ton of overcard hands that he's gonna have to continue with against the check raise. So we get a decent amount of value, and a lot of guys in his shoes will now check down something like ace king, ace jack. Of course, the run out is super terrible for 7s. I have no right to ever win, but in practice I will sometimes. You know, it will go check check and I win. There you go. So we actually got called by worse. He got the perfect run out and didn't bluff, probably due to not really understanding what my check raising range looks like. It's very easy to kind of miss pocket 7s there, thinking it's a bit too in between, right? He raised under the gun, so he has all the higher pocket pairs, but he has so many unpaired hands that I think it's a good spot to raise. Here we have Crocs Poker, the donk betting guy. So this hand should probably squeeze most of the time, but I kind of feel like calling and seeing if we can make anything out of his play. And here we have actually a very straightforward fold, and I would fold even if cutoff had folded as well. It's something a bit about, like we said, this guy's first of all playing straightforward, so he's probably not checking too strong. Secondly, wish I can fold and see. Can I do that? How do we do that? Maybe like this. Yeah, secondly, just the board texture, King 10 4 two-tone, is not one where it's super attractive to just bet big with nothing, so he probably has something decent. And you know what, we're just not doing too well. And we have the really fast timing, but we said that doesn't mean too much, and we can see we actually would have had the best hand. He should not be betting 8s there, of course, but yeah, the other guy let him get the 8s to showdown, so it worked out for him. Let's play a few more hands and see what we make of it. But yeah, in terms of reads about this guy, so first of all, I've seen him snap check the river out of position when he's very, very weak, both with the King 10 and with the 8s. Second is I've seen him just c-bet really big with a hand that's probably not too, how do you say, c-bet worthy, like very depolarized range. He still might be checking very weak, but might be, you know, just betting a lot. Good board for us. Here you could go various sizings. I think generally sets don't want to go into the really big sizings as far as poker strategy, which makes a ton of sense. You're so way ahead that you don't mind giving the other guy some free cards. This is a bit too big, I think. We have a pot open. All these things, you know, I would take notes about them if I were playing these pools more often. Raise 7 deuce, kind of funky board. Ace 10 could kind of go either way. Betting, checking, betting, various sizings, but the big picture thing you need to have in your head is how much money is my hand worth in these positions. And the truth is, ace 10 of clubs is not worth that much money in these positions. I feel like roughly a half pot bet is what I would be comfortable getting in with this hand, and even that's borderline, maybe like a third pot bet. One side check and it comes not too good. You guys just see me playing kind of passive. and we're talking about overfolding. I don't feel like this is really the spot for it. Once villain checks back, there is so much potential air in his range. It's gonna be tough to convince me to fold a hand this strong. There's always some hand reading going on in addition to the massive overfolding I'm planning on doing. I think villain's play was okay. A pair of sixes is not really showing down and winning, so there's no issue with turning that into a bluff. Probably would have worked fairly well against most guys here, and he was just going for, I don't know, making me fold some pocket pair. Here with sixes, trying to think if there is any point in bluffing. I feel like the answer is no. The hand is a bit too strong. Just gonna try to show down against high card hands. This is again one of those lines where I don't mind calling too much. We'll definitely call here, but yeah, let's actually still fold. Okay, so we have a reshove. If you guys notice the positions, this is really important. So this guy flatted UTG +1, but didn't 3-bet. What range is likely to be there for him to reshove? Ace, queen, nines, tens, ace, jack suited. So I might have to fold anyway, but let's see what he has. Pocket threes, fairly loose reshove. I would guess this is not working out too well in practice to go that wide. You guys are seeing some people making some punty looking plays here. Very expected. Like there's a reason they're playing NL200 and not nosebleeds. So definitely fair to expect them to make a bunch of fairly decent sized mistakes even, I would say. And that's one of the important things to keep in mind when we're playing here is we don't need to really do anything special besides playing well. And I don't want to make playing well sound easy. It's not. The reason I'm saying this is like take a deep breath, play very, very calm. You're not among killers who will pounce again on any weakness. Like these guys are just making mistakes left and right, and generally playing a bit too weak, tight, passive. So just kind of do your thing, and don't be a hero. Don't be afraid of bluffing. And I think you should do fairly reasonable. King queen here. Again, one of those like you could go either way spots. Actually start bluffing. Paired boards are supposed to get check raised really aggressively, and they generally don't. So always a bit of a preference for me for betting those in weaker environments. And yeah, we have another squeeze pot. But by the way, I didn't mention the guy who called the 6-5 suited against my squeeze should probably not have done that. Here tens I think is strong enough to call. You do run into jacks and queens a little bit, but I think it's more often nines and eights reshoving. Oh wow, kings. So kings I don't think he's supposed to have pre-flop for flatting there. But yeah, obviously that works out well. When you do get squeezed. I would never dream of folding tens. Okay, splash pot is a nice one to end with. We did get kings on the last one, and here we're gonna get another really strong hand. And in late positions, so I'd probably limp in earlier positions, but I do kind of like just isolating from the button. Yeah, let's try to show down the queen 7. You could also throw in a small bet. Once we've checked, we're not going to throw in bets. This is not ace 9 like before, where I suddenly bluffed the ace high. So here you guys see I'm risking 8 to win like 13.5. I have to call queen 7. It's not super exciting, but it's alright. And yeah, let's sit out next hand. Okay. Good luck. Just talking about what I expect, I would expect to see mostly draws, sometimes an ace deuce, mostly just a flush draw or something, but yeah, ace 3 makes sense. And of course villain should never open shove, to be clear. Okay, so we will end the live play section here. sum up this session, I think, we had a bunch of unique spots. You guys can see me trying to navigate them. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. But I'm always very, very sure about what I'm trying to do with my hand. And this is really, really important when you're playing. I can decide to give up on a bluff. I can decide to make a bluff catch or not make a bluff catch. But I'm never going to be in a spot and be like, I don't know what is my hand supposed to do here? How much money does my hand want to put in? When does my hand want to start bluffing, if at all? These are kind of important things. You guys can see a bunch of spots where I was bluff catching against small bets with hands that seemed kind of obvious. I was very uncomfortable about it because I realized, the threshold for the other guy is I'm not really beating him unless he's bluffing, and I know people don't tend to bluff enough. So I'm kind of super reluctantly, when people bet really small, you are in theory supposed to call a ton, and I had really good bluff catchers in terms of removal effects and various technical aspects, which do have an effect on your EV. You kind of should know more or less where you're at in terms of like the sizing and the action and the position dictate how much money each hand is worth. There's a lot in poker that has to do with accurately gauging the situation very, very quickly. Thinking about ranges. It's a bit hard to explain it all, but hopefully I get a bit across in these videos. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments any thoughts, questions, requests for the future. Really appreciate all the comments you guys have been giving. It definitely gives me motivation to make more of these. If you haven't yet, check out the Guerrilla Poker website. We have a course about how to improve your red line. We have pre-flop ranges, and we have a bunch of other cool stuff coming up soon. First chapter of the Redline course is free. And once you register, we have your email and we can tell you about future courses. Definitely worth checking those out, and I'll see you guys next time.